and healthy, happy lives. We have got our dear friend Lauriston Crockett with us. How are you, Lauriston? That was a great segue, my friend. So I'm talking about National Dog Day and, of course, shamelessly plugging a picture of my dog, Kira, on the screen. And then you come into the waiting room. So that's perfect timing because not only are you a health and wellness expert, and I've got to say this before we get started, and this is not a political segment. I know a lot of times you see Lauriston, and because he's so involved in politics and he's a patriot and he's got so many leadership positions that he holds, you're going to think, oh, he's talking politics. Not today. We are talking about you're known to a lot of people as a health and wellness expert for pets, and just have amazing products that can prolong the life of your pet and the quality of your pet. But I am fascinated with what you are talking about today, which is peptides. So let's welcome one of my favorite patriots, Lauriston Crockett, to the show. So if the crew will welcome him, he's actually a member of the crew, and we're glad to have you, Lauriston. How are you?
Good morning. It's so wonderful to be with you today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Well, let's just jump right into this because you've got a product, and I want to have you back on again to talk another day about the pet products as well, because
Absolutely.
I think people are becoming, I think because of the pandemic, a lot of people have looked into, holistic, vitamins, supplements, whatever the case may be, for decades, for generations. But I think now more than ever, people are really trying to focus on what can I put into my body to protect myself from everything that's out there. So Lauriston, tell us what we can do.
Well, right now, we need to really talk about we're being fed fear every day. Fear, correct?
Yes.
And so put on the gloves, wash your hands, put on a mask, things like that. So let's really talk about what that is. So one of the dirtiest places in the human body is the mouth.
Yes.
And if you wear the mask every day, you're breathing in and out pathogens and bacteria. It's just science. So am I going to say don't wear a mask? I'm not going to say that. Some other people, if we can make them feel more comfortable in some instances, it may help, So it's not really talking about it, but we really must understand what's going on here. So what we need to focus more on is what God gave us. It's called our immune system. We're not getting enough information about our immune system and how effective this is to actually take care and keep us healthy. And there's some really, really simple tips. And I also want to give everybody a new technology that's 1 billion years old, okay, that God has given us also, that's called host defense peptides, which is absolutely amazing, and I think it'll freak everybody out. So when we're talking about peptides, I really want to talk really quickly about people understand what a peptide is. So a peptide is a short-chain amino acid. It comes from the Greek word peptos, which means digested. And we don't really think about peptides that much, even though when God made the average human being, there are 37 trillion cells in the average human being, and each cell in our bodies have a peptide. Now, that seems to be pretty important if every cell in our body has a peptide, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So we need to think about that. And so our body also produces something called a host of peptides. But getting to peptides, just to let you know how you relate to it every day. As a physical fitness expert and longevity expert, I train and I work out every day. A lot of people ride their bikes, they go for walks, and we feel great because our body produces something called endorphins, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And you hear about that. Again, that's one of those things you hear about all the time. And we know, okay, so I need to exercise if I'm going to do that. You kind of know some things. But this all ties into peptides as well. I was just blown away by all of the knowledge you have on this.
Well, it does. I've devoted my life. I was actually going to be a Franciscan monk at one time, and
I did not know that. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. I had no idea. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, back in 2001, 2002, I almost signed my orders, but because of Joe Cocker, my companion, what else is the name of Cocker Spaniel but Joe Cocker, but I skin cancer, and I decided to dedicate my life to health. And was working with peptides. So I've been working with peptides for years, and these peptides I'm talking about have been in my blood since 2003. But anyway, so getting back to a peptide, so an endorphin, you feel so great, they're more powerful than morphine. But endorphins are made from the pituitary gland, and guess what? It's a peptide. Talk about, we all have friends out there that possibly could have diabetes, correct? And they take,
Right.
what do they take? They take insulin,
Right.
correct?
Right.
Insulin is a peptide.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that
I didn't know
either.
that either.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So right now, as we're speaking, on your beautiful, beautiful face and smile, you have host defense peptides on your face right now.
Wow.
And HDPs are absolutely amazing. So why don't I just go ahead and read something right out of the FDA, okay?
Yes.
Antimicrobial peptides, also known as host defense peptides, are part of the innate immune response found among all classes of life. These peptides are potent, broad-spectrum antibiotics which demonstrate potential as novel therapeutic agents. Antimicrobial peptides, also known as host defense peptides, have been demonstrated to kill gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria, envelope viruses, fungi, and even transferred on cancerous cells. Unlike the majority of conventional antibiotics, it appears that antimicrobial peptides frequently destabilize the biological membranes. So this is how important host defense peptides are. So what we're able to do is boost these HDPs in our body. And again, this isn't a cell thing. This is just talking about, please do your homework on host defense peptides. And with our children going back to school, you know, I'm the father of a 10-year-old.
Right.
And I made it for both adults and children. I made it into a chewable form. And the bottom line is, it's got natural cherry flavor because I don't like the dyes. And you just
Right.
put it in your mouth, chew it up, and you know that you fortified your body with the daily allowance of zinc, vitamin C, and 30 milligrams of host defense peptides. It's absolutely amazing. So we know that HDPs, and please do your own homework, have the ability to disrupt the envelope around the virus and be able to kill it in a very, very short period of time.
Right.
This isn't wacky science. This is science that we've known forever and ever and ever. And since with GenoStem, we actually specialize in peptide technologies, and we've had since 2003. This is what we're trying to get people to understand, that we do have a weapon, a new weapon that you can take. It's very, very easy. And by the way, peptides have zero side effects. So when I wrote the book, Peptides Are Life, it was more of a anti-aging longevity book, but to now
Right.
it's become more of a survival guide. We don't want people to be afraid. And let's talk about, do we have a little bit more time to talk about how we can also burn our
Yes,
house?
yes, yeah, actually, we do. We definitely have time. And I want to mention to people, because you are and I don't know that you're allowed to talk about this, but I hope I can mention just one of your many hats that you wear. You are on the Plano ISD district, the House Health Committee, the Health Committee for Plano ISD. So again, you are influencing. You know, you're out there and you've helped our pets live longer, better lives in the pet world. You are helping, and these are for people of all ages. And I want to mention again, no side effects, no dyes, and this is one of those things. It can't hurt. That's the way I kind of look at something like this. It can't hurt, and if it helps, and from all the research that you've done, and actually I'm ordering your book on Amazon today. So at some point, Brett, if you can put a picture of his book up on the screen. But let's talk about tying in your health and wellness and your expertise in that area, and helping bring that to the kids who are so lucky to be part of Plano ISD, with somebody who's got such expertise in the area of health and wellness.
Well, I humbly was, I was thrilled, and I'm humbly accepted. I do serve on the health committee for the PISD, and that has nothing to do about what we're talking about today, but anything that I can do to give back to our community, and especially help keep our children safe,
Yes.
then, and 100%. So anyway, getting back to this also, something I want you to think about. Here's some other little tips I'm going to give you. And we do this with our pets also, because dogs and cats are now also coming down with COVID and having different issues. So when we're coming home, then we're going to talk real quickly about how to build that immune system. When we're coming home and you wear your shoes, either leave your shoes outside or make sure you disinfect them, okay? Because we're outside, we're bringing them in, you can bring pathogens into your home just basically on your shoes. We don't ever really give it that much thought. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you get home, wash your hands.
Yes.
So before we give and kisses to everybody else before we actually pet our animals, which could actually put a pathogen or a virus on them also, and they could suffer from that. Just wash your hands. So
Right.
check your shoes or do that and wash your hands. Now, here are the basic steps to build our immune system. Here's what I live by. Okay. And, my son has had strep throat, he's had the flu, he's had colds, anything like that. And I've never gotten sick with him at all. And I take care of him.
Wow.
Is that number one, for your immune system, stay hydrated. Very important, stay hydrated. A lot of people drink water. I love orange juice, and I drink a lot of coconut water. Coconut water is absolutely amazing, and you get a lot of natural electrolytes.
Love coconut water. And actually, is this true? I've heard that coconut water is more hydrating than actual water. Is there any truth to
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
And it can lower your blood pressure.
Wait, what? Okay, I've got high blood pressure, so I'm about to load up on coconut water.
I hydrate it when I go to the gym at night, and in the morning I always start off with my coconut water.
Love it.
I just absolutely love it. So let's make sure we hydrate.
Okay.
Let's eat a sensible diet. We don't have to go crazy, but let's make sure we're getting a balanced diet, okay? Let's get some veggies in there. Let's get some lean proteins because, like I said, peptides actually come from lean meats. It comes from vegetables. It comes from fish. It comes from chicken. So peptides are created from all this. So let's get a balanced diet. Let's exercise. That doesn't mean going overboard, but just moderate exercise helps build the immune system also. I can't overemphasize sleep. Now, right now, everybody seems to be in a fear mode and very stressed out. So this is disrupting our sleep pattern. Let's turn off these devices. Let's start calming things down an hour ahead of time and getting our sleep in. All right. And then also, like I tell people, take your peptides every day. You've got access now. And I'm going to send you a case down there for you and everybody else.
Can't wait.
But it tastes great. I made it so easy. It tastes fantastic. But again, boost your body with peptides because peptides are the key to life, the key to longevity, and the key to the immune system. And if you want to have a lot of fun, if anybody out there has an Alexa, I do this for fun all the time. Go up and say, hey, Alexa, about host defense peptides, and it will go exactly what I've talked about. Do research and then come back to, you can go to genostem.com, and there's a lot of information on there also at genostem.com. But please start learning about HTPs. Let's start building our immune system. And one other thing I want to talk about that we need to do to make sure we stay safe is that there's something we all carry around, and it's become addictive, and it was designed to be addictive.
Right.
And keep us to it is our cell phones. Well, every day long, we're touching our cell phones over and over and over again. And it's one of the dirtiest things that we carry around, but we don't really think about disinfecting our cell phone every morning or every night or even midday right now, because everything we touch, we're going to touch this phone and we're carrying around in our pocket. So we're actually carrying a petri plate of disease around on our phone. And we don't really give that a whole lot of thought, but I think we really should.
I think that's a great point because we've got, and you and I talked about this, just kind of simple things. I make sure that if I've had my eyeglasses on when I've been out and about, that I wipe those down. I do want to reiterate what you said about, if you're coming home and especially because so many of us have people living with us that are, maybe an older family member who has a compromised immune system. And,
Right.
We're human beings. Our normal thing is to come in and you hug and kiss whoever's at home, your loved one, your spouse, your partner, your kids, your pet. And it's so funny because my pet, she squeaks like a dolphin, and she offers you a toy if she loves you when you come in, and she's in her little pen and she does this little tap dance. So it's so hard, but I'm always like, wait, mommy's got to wash her hands, because I know within 30 minutes she's going to be up with me on the couch in my lap. I'm going to be petting her more. So I don't want her to get sick or exposed. I don't want myself to get sick or exposed. But then I'm thinking of friends of mine who are taking care of older parents right now.
Right.
Boy, howdy, your first thing is you want to go back and say hello to them and give them a hug and a kiss. Unload the groceries, clean yourself off. Like you said, take those shoes off, wipe off that cell phone before you go and expose your loved one to. And this is beyond COVID. This is, like you said, strep, flu, cold, and these peptides help with all of that, if I'm understanding correctly.
They really do. Yeah, they really do. So again, check your shoes, wash your hands. Check your shoes, wash your
Yes.
hands. Check your shoes, wash your hands. I say it 3 times because after the third time, you really start to internalize. Check your shoes, wash your hands, and then let's get love to everybody and get everybody on stress. But yes, these peptides are so amazing. So please do your research on host defense peptides. As a matter of fact, Big Pharma is trying to take something natural that's already so effective and trying to turn it into a vaccine where you don't really need a vaccine with HTPs. Again, right now, they're actually on your face, killing MRSA and other things come across our day. Our body produces them. They're on our face right now as we're speaking. So let's make sure we internalize them. Let's make sure we boost these HTPs in our body and
Absolutely.
what we call the viral shield.
I love it. Well, this is such great advice, and this is just the beginning of many talks we're going to have with you because there's just so many different ways we can take these conversations. If people want, and now we've got a picture of your book up here, Peptides Are Life, and like I said, I'm going to order
Right.
this book today. How can people get a hold of this book? How can they get a hold of you, Lauriston? How can they follow you? Because I know you're also starting to put out there some tips and tricks for people for working out and routines of that nature. Do you mind me saying your
Yeah.
age while we're on air?
My age?
Yes, can I say it? Because folks aren't going to believe
Sure,
it.
but people want to argue with me about it. It's like, I promise, I don't lie.
I know. So Lauriston's 62, and it's so funny because years ago when you and I first met in politics, I just assumed you were around my age, and I'm 54 now. And then as I got to know you, I'm like, he's got to be a little bit older. And then I was like, how? I think I finally asked you one time at a political event, how the heck old are you after all?
Right.
And
Right.
so you're sitting here, you're not trying to tell people about this, and having not used it yourself. This is something that you use yourself, and it has kept you healthy and kind of, I
Well,
mean, a mini fountain of youth. I don't know.
well, it is. It's been proven that peptides in lab mice and also human beings, and of course, this is why they call me the pet health and longevity expert, is that using peptides can increase the lifespan between 10 to 30%. And you can find this information and actually where to reference it in the book. And again, it's not, so much pushing the book, but you can get the book on Amazon, and I think it's on Kindle if you want to download it there. It's $9, and for the book itself, I believe it's $14 or $15. But
Perfect.
I put up information. I made it so easy for you to understand that. Also, you can get the book on genostem.com, GENOSTIM. It's not for stem cells. It means
Okay.
genomes. And you can get it on there. And if you want to contact me, please go to the Genostem website. I promise you, if you have any questions, I will call you back personally. I
Oh,
make that as
perfect.
if you have
Perfect.
a question, if there's any fear, or if you just want more information, I promise I'll call you personally.
I love it. Well, and just appreciate you so much. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for being a member of the crew. We look forward to having you back on, and you have a blessed weekend, my friend.
That's you too. I'm always here for you. I love you guys. Thank you.
We love you too. Bye-bye. Thanks, Lauriston.
Bye.
Great information. And please, if you know anybody who's trying to increase their immune system during this pandemic, message them, go onto one of our platforms in which our show is, and share this with them, share the information with them. We're always about promoting good health, especially so people can stay sick in these trying times.